In this video, we'll get to the heart of the matter as we'll see how to use the tools available in the market window to operate on the exchange, backing and laying, or trading. Before proceeding, a note on simulation mode is helpful. To practice using the program's tools and trading, it's recommended to use this mode. Real money from your account won't be used, but all trades will be simulated using real data from the platform. You can activate simulation mode from the Tools menu or by pressing the F8 key on your keyboard. You'll know you're in simulation mode because the program's top bar changes color. You'll also see the counters for orders placed have a different color than in live mode. In the market monitor, the window will also be highlighted with the same color, and the market window itself will have borders of that color. The simulation mode highlighting is visually striking because it's important to know we're simulating and not using real money from our account. So, let's get back to the market window. There are essentially three market window tools for trading on the exchange: the grid, the ladder, and the trader's scope. Let's start with the grid. The grid appears as a table where the various market selections, i.e., the various possible outcomes, are arranged in rows, while the market odds are represented in columns. Specifically, the table is divided into two halves. On the left are the odds available for backing, and on the right are the odds available for laying. In other words, on the left are listed all the amounts that bettors wishing to lay are available for backing. On the right are all the amounts that bettors wishing to back are available for lay. This is a fairly common layout, even on bookmaker websites. The number of back and lay columns displayed in the grid is now 3, but they can be configured in the program options based on the size of your monitor. To do this, simply press the gear button in the grid panel and you will be taken directly to the grid options window. As you can see, for example, you can set how many columns to have for the back and lay sides, along with numerous other options. Let's close the options window and return to the market window. Since the stakes are listed in ascending order of odds, the center displays the most favorable odds for those who wish to back or lay, and these are the odds we can consider if we want our bets to be matched immediately. In practice, the price that marks the boundary between the two zones represents the odds the market deems fair for that particular outcome. Remember that the odds of a given selection are closely linked to the probability the market assigns to the outcome. Specifically, we can say that mathematically, the probability is given by the inverse of the odds. The odds tend to unity as the outcome becomes more certain, while they increase toward infinity as the outcome becomes more impossible. The Betting Toolkit program automatically calculates the probabilities implied by the odds and presents them in order from most likely to least likely event in the probability bar. The probability values are also displayed in the grid column next to the one with the selection names. Please note that the probability bar display for horse racing takes on a different visualization that highlights the relative situation between the various horses, with the horse in advantage represented further to the right, in a manner similar to that which we will see later with the trader's scope. The market therefore provides current odds for a given outcome, but nothing prevents us from placing a back or lay order at the odds we desire. If the odds we desire do not match a market counterpart, our bet will be placed in the book, waiting to be matched when the market is willing to pay the price we set. Betting Toolkit displays our pending bets in an orange box. The odds on either side of the fence, between those who want to lay on the left and those who want to back on the right, the best odds, are called the best available odds for backing and the best available odds for laying. In highly liquid markets, these odds are very close, separated by just a few ticks or even none. The difference in ticks between the best odds is also called the spread. A tick is a step between one odd and the next. In the ladder, ticks can be counted like the lines representing the odds in the book. The step between one odd and the next is not constant across the entire book. At low odds, a tick is a few cents, while at higher odds, it can reach tens of dollars or pounds or euros depending on your account currency. If we want to back at a higher odds than the current best available odds for laying, we'll queue up on the right side in a position that depends on the odds entered. If, for example, we accidentally bet at a lower odds than the best available odds for backing, the market will match our bet with the most favorable odds available, provided there's enough money to match our bet. In principle, being quick on the market gives us a significant advantage over those who use cumbersome tools to place their bets. This speed requires the program to react immediately to our extreme intentions, allowing us to place bets, cancel them, or move them with a single mouse click. This is effectively possible with Betting Toolkit. The Betting Toolkit program is fully configurable in terms of how it reacts to our clicks on the grid or ladder. This way, we can decide whether we want scalping or more thoughtful trading. For example, we can decide that a click will display a dialog box with an accounting summary of the trade we're about to place. This dialog box will still allow you to refine the share or stake and will ask for our further confirmation before proceeding. Alternatively, we can set the program to send the bet immediately to the market. This can be done by activating or deactivating the Confirm button in the top right of the main window. In the case of the grid, there are also two possible modes, one called Match and the other Propose. Let's see how they differ. Let's say we click on a price on the left side of the book. This is a price at which amounts are available to receive our bet. However, we can want two things, either to actually back at that odd in the case of Match and therefore see our back bet immediately matched, or we can want to lay at that odd and therefore queue our bet with the others present at that level in the case of Propose. It's also immediately clear whether we're set to match or propose by observing the blue or white color of the cell borders when we hover over them. In practice, the odds of the bet are derived from the column of the box we click. Obviously, these odds can still be changed if the confirmation window is active. It's possible to set the odds to be taken from the table column when you click rather than a fixed value you choose. To do this, there are two boxes that allow you to lock the back and lay odds. By activating these boxes and selecting the appropriate values, you'll see that when you click, the odds used will be the ones selected in the respective boxes, regardless of the column you clicked on the grid. The only thing that will be chosen with the click is whether the bet is back or lay. After looking at odds management, let's now look at stakes, or the amounts we decide to set for our bets. There are two ways to set stakes when trading with the grid. The first is to display the grid stakes button bar. If it's not visible, simply navigate to this small gear button and click next to it. A menu will appear where you can toggle its display. When the stakes bar is active, the highlighted stake will be used. You can select and configure different predefined amounts. To set the amounts, you can go to the options window on the trading page or right-click on the stakes buttons. This way, you can set the amount corresponding to each button as desired. If the stakes bar is not active, the amount used will be the one indicated in the main window in the back stake or lay stake box, depending on the trade you wish to forward to the market. Note that right-clicking on the stakes boxes in the main window will open a menu that allows you to easily select the amounts to use from a list that contains exactly the same amounts as the buttons. The stakes you enter for the bet are assumed to be actual amounts or can be interpreted as profit for backing or liability for laying if the respective buttons at the top right of the main window are active. For example, if we bet $10 at odds of 1.1, we will have a gross profit if we win $1. If we have activated the profit option, the $10 will be interpreted as profit, and therefore, to obtain this profit, the program will bet $100. Therefore, be careful to use the profit and liability options wisely, as they modify the indicated stakes to achieve the desired outcome. It is advisable to activate the confirmation button the first few times you try. Now suppose we have queued our bet on the grid. You can easily delete a previously placed bet by clicking on the bottom of the grid cell, where our bet is indicated by an orange rectangle. You will notice that not all columns in the grid relate to market odds and are therefore clickable. There is in fact different data in the various columns. Starting from the left, we have the candlestick button, the selection name, and the percentage probability of success given by the market odds. This percentage is also displayed as a histogram. When a cash out is available, a clickable button to cash out is displayed in place of this percentage. Then there are the last traded price and the last traded value, if available, and then the actual odds. In the center, dividing the back odds from the lay odds, is the weight of money, a value that indicates the price pressure to rise or fall based on the money available in the book on either side. In markets where betting on the starting price is available in the pre-match phase, this column is used to display this trade. There is also a column for the scalper feature, which allows you to place two opposing bets on the book with a single click. Finally, on the right are the traded volume for each selection and a chart of the traded prices. The type of chart can also be customized by the user. We'll cover these details when we look at the chart section. The table closes with a column showing whether an automation is active on the market. We can decide which columns to display by clicking the Options button seen previously, going to the Columns box, and activating or deactivating the columns of our choice. As seen previously, each row in the grid corresponds to an outcome. We can hide the outcomes of a market by clicking in the box containing the selection's name on this icon representing an eye. The selection will be minimized to a small button at the bottom, which can be restored by clicking it. This is useful for markets with many selections where we want to focus our attention on just a few. In the first column of the grid, there is also a button that immediately opens the selection's candlestick chart window. As you can see, we can open as many candlestick charts as we want. The only limit is the space on our monitor. The lines, or market selections, can be automatically sorted according to various criteria by using the filters in the top right. Please note that if you leave the automatic sorting checkbox enabled, the lines will be sorted dynamically, and the sorting may change as the conditions of the match evolve, so be careful when using this feature when scalping. After selecting the sorting option, it's a good idea to deselect the automatic sorting checkbox. That's all for this general description of the grid. Remember to follow us by subscribing to the betting channel to stay up to date on news and to like this video if you want to support us. See you in the next episode.